Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi zidni ilma. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Dr. Sadia Rafi and under the supervision of Professor Dr. Saira Afzal, today my topic of presentation is National Water Policy. Learning outline include the water concerns, objective of the policy, strategic priorities and planning principles, conservation of water, drinking water and sanitation, water rights and obligations, and sustainable water infrastructure. At the end of this presentation, participants would be able to describe main water concerns, national water policy, water conservation, drinking water, and infrastructure. Starting with the Pakistan situation of water resources. Rapidly growing population leading Pakistan towards situation of water shortage and a threat of food insecurity. Per capita surface water availability has declined from 5,000 to 60 cubic meters per year in 1951 to around 1,000 cubic meters in 2016. This quantity is likely to further drop to about 860 cubic meters by 2025, marking our transition from a water stressed to a water scarce country. Minimum water requirement to avoid food and health implications of water scarcity is 1,000 cubic meters per capita per year. Specific issues concerning the water sector. Number one, fresh water being a finite source is progressively becoming more scarce due to persistent increase in its demand. Water scarcity can adversely affect the health and well-being of the people of Pakistan. The geographic location of Pakistan places the country in the heat surplus zone on Earth, putting it high on the vulnerability scale of climate change with considerable increase in frequency, extreme weather events, and erratic monsoon rains. The Indus Basin replacement works, particularly dams, are approaching the end of their design lifespan due to siltation, requiring replacement storages. Different regions in the country are endowed differently with water in terms of precipitation, surface flow, and groundwater, and there is increased stress on the sharing of water resources. Lack of equity in water allowances of various canals command is causing water and salt imbalances at a regional level. Bulk of drinking water requirement is met by groundwater, which is depleting and its quality is deteriorating. The mandate and roles of federal and provision of water-related agency needs to be reviewed in the view of 18th Amendment in the Constitution. Concentrated efforts are needed to reuse treated sewage water in order to reduce sweet water demand. There is lack of awareness among the general public about the impending threat of water scarcity and the huge wastage of sweet water. Excessive watering of crops endemic with total disregard for efficiency and conservation. Desalinization of seawater is a significant source of water. However, no effort has been made for desalinization in the light of technology advances and international best practices. National Water Policy. It provides the guiding principles and broad policy direction for the water sector in Pakistan and deals with some related issues such as climate change threats. Pakistan is rapidly becoming a water scarce country. The policy seeks to respond to the water crisis. It reaffirms the right of all citizens of Pakistan to equal and affordable access to clean drinking water and appropriate sanitation facilities. From June 14 October 22, flood in Pakistan killed 1,739 people and caused 3.2 trillion of damage and 3.3 trillion of economic crisis. The immediate cause of the floods were heavier than usual monsoon rains and the melting glaciers that followed a severe heat wave, both of which are linked to climate change. National Water Policy. It has become a national imperative to ensure water security for the people of Pakistan through a national water policy, laying down the outline of integrated water management strategy that can optimize the economic, social, and environmental returns of water resources, ensure equitable allocation among its competing demand, as well as its judicious use by consumers, and safe disposal of post-use effluents. Objectives of the policy. This is based on the concept of integrated water resource management primarily aimed at the following policy objectives. It includes the promoting sustainable consumption and production patterns throughout the water sector from exploitation to utilization. Augmentation of the available water resource of the country through judicious and equitable utilization by reservoirs and conservation, and improving availability, reliability, and quality of freshwater resources to meet critical municipal, agriculture, and environmental needs. Improving urban water management by increasing system efficiency through adequate investment to address drinking water demand, sewage disposal, handling of wastewater, and industrial effluents. Promoting behavioral change to reduce wastage of water by raising public awareness through media campaigns and incorporating water concern lessons in syllabi curricula at primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. Hydropower development to increase the share of renewable energy, providing food security and expanding water availability to help adapt to climate change, population, and other large-scale stresses. Treatment and possible reuse of wastewater, which is domestic, agriculture, or industrial. Upgrading water sector information system for improved assets management and to derive evidence and data-driven decision-making. Improving watershed management through extensive soil conservation, catchment area treatments, preservation of forest, and increasing forest cover. Restoring and maintaining the health of the environment and water-related ecosystems. Flood management to mitigate floods and minimize their damages. Drought management with emphasis on long-term vulnerability reduction. Security of benefit stream of water-related infrastructure for sustained provision of services. Promoting appropriate technology for rainwater harvesting in rural as well as urban areas. Regulating groundwater withdrawals for curbing over abstraction and promoting aquifer recharge. Adequate water pricing, Abhiyana for irrigation and proper operation and maintenance of the irrigation system, as well as other use sectors, promoting measures for long-term sustainability of irrigation system, encouraging beneficiary participation, public-private partnerships, and strengthening and capacity building of water sector institutions. Profitable use of flood water towards promotion of local irrigation practices, protection of wetlands for the prevention of wildlife, flora, and fauna, stoppage of further seawater intrusion into Sindh upstream from coastline for the sustainability of coastal environment, flora and fauna, and mangrove growth, including the use of skimming dug wells in coastal areas. Enhancing water productivity through infrastructure development and adoption of improved technology in a sustainable manner. Climate change impacts assessment and adaptation for sustainable water resource development management, promoting research on water resource related issues of national importance, and building capacity, delineating roles and responsibilities of federal research institutions and promoting coordination among them. Setting major national targets for the water sectors, including those for water conservation, water storage, irrigation, water treatment, and drinking water. Secure Kutch areas and economies. Preserve delta areas by providing sufficient supplies regularly. Rainwater management in plains where it can't be disposed of or diverted to the river. Strategic priorities and planning principle. Several strategic initiatives have been identified that will be taken up at the federal and provincial level since they are of critical importance to the water, energy, and food security of Pakistan. These include conservation and efficiency. Conservation measures can be adopted for groundwater by regulating its extraction and use. Both conservation and efficiency must be highlighted for demand-side management of water resources. Second is storage. If the rainfall becomes more than average rain in 1 year and drastic reduction in the next year rainfall, the only way to conserve the surplus rainwater in wet areas is to store it and release it in the dry years when it is required. Expansion of water storage will expand irrigation and also increase the proportion of hydropower in the energy mix, reducing the needs for thermal power. Third is leveraging technology. Adoption of new technology is urgently needed for seawater utilization, water recycling, preparation of an inventory of water resources through remote sensing and other technologies, and accurate monitoring of irrigation water delivery. Renewable energy. With appropriate policies and subsidies, a large percentage of tube wells in Pakistan can be converted to solar energy, especially in areas where water table is not very low, to provide additional water at lower cost. Solar energy can also be used for daytime salinization of seawater, particularly in the coastal areas of Balochistan. Integrated water resource management. The management of water resources is shifting from sectoral to a more integrated approach in different parts of the world under IWRM. The interest of all stakeholders can be protected against mining and contamination. Watershed and catchment areas can be protected to prolong the life of water storage facilities. Sixth is comprehensive regulatory framework. For food security, water security, and energy security being inextricably linked, so the regulatory framework must address all the associated issues comprehensively, including groundwater contamination, wastewater, open defecation, wash. Planning principles. The process of planning, development, and management of water resources at the federal and provincial levels, including the development of this policy, will be guided by the following sets of principles. Equity and participatory decision-making. Water sector activities shall be participatory and consultative at each level. Access to affordable and safe drinking water is a fundamental human right of all citizens. Efficiency and conservation will be promoted at all levels. Environmental sustainability must be ensured. Now, talking about the water conservation. Conserves water, conserves life. The critically of fresh water for sustenance of human body, coupled with scarcity warrants recognition of water conservation to be the highest national priority. In the choice of conservation technology, due care shall be exercised to select the most appropriate technology which